We developed the Restoring Resiliency response model in 2007, and it was after the tragic murder of a little girl named Nix Marie Brown. And what happened was, because we had been providing supportive services to our Child Protective Service team since the terrorist attacks of 9/11, we were called upon to try to help the workers at this point, because they were in the press every single day. I ran focus groups with them throughout the 5 boroughs of New York City to really learn what's causing them stress and anxiety, what type of cases send them over into post-traumatic stress symptoms and secondary traumatic stress symptoms. What are the daily things that they deal with at work that they could really use a confidential group to talk through and process? And we came up with the Restoring Resiliency response model. Our role is to try to help these workers who are putting their lives on the line, basically 24/7, to help and protect children, get back on the top of their game, rally up their resources, and continue to do the work to support the children and families in New York City.
Safe Horizon has worked with the NYSPCC for 10 years, and they have been providing the crisis debriefing services to our staff. We provide victim services to 250,000 New Yorkers a year. We work with survivors of domestic violence, child abuse, sexual assault, human trafficking, and other types of crime and abuse. And the work is so challenging. It really takes a toll on our staff. And so the crisis debriefing service has been a really important part of our kind of comprehensive response to vicarious trauma. We provide training and supervision, but when there's a tragedy, being able to bring in clinicians from outside Safe Horizon who are just focused on staff well-being has been really, really helpful.
We are the largest child welfare agency in the country, and so we're big. There's a lot of staff, there's a lot of families. We realized that we needed something specialized to help lift the staff so they could work better, well with the families. And we realized that it was much more than reacting to a crisis, that there was cumulative trauma, vicarious trauma that the staff were really holding on to, and then it would come out one way or the other.
There are 6 steps that we use in the Restoring Resiliency response model. The first is just introduction. People in the group just have a chance to tell us how long they've been in the position and their first names only. The step 2 is the impact, and that's where the critical incident that occurred is referenced. And then step 3 is where we really delve into the stress reactions that they're having. And we have a stress reactions checklist that is handed out, and we want them to go through it and realize that, is it normal that I'm having headaches or a backache, or I'm trouble concentrating, or I'm more irritable. Step 4 is then to explore their coping skills, and whether or not they're adaptive or maladaptive, and whether or not they're working for them. Step 5 is self-care. And we have an assessment tool, a self-care assessment, because again, with self-care, people just sort of go to exercise all the time. And we try to steer them away, but there's also emotional self-care and spiritual self-care and psychological and self-care and workplace self-care. We have several different exercises that we use, and that's step 6. Sometimes one is just focused breathing, because focused breathing automatically, when you're stressed, the front part of your brain shuts down, but the back part of your brain, which is all the emotions, keeps going full steam ahead.
I think the team comes out stronger than they otherwise would have, and it helps to prevent an employee really getting kind of stuck in guilt or self-doubt. It helps to prevent divisions within the team kind of popping up. So it's good for the strength of the team. And the other benefit that we didn't really anticipate, but we've seen from the service, is that it actually frees up the supervisors and the program director within the program to do their jobs and also to get the support that they need.
it's really important, particularly after these past 18 months, to understand that we see you, we feel you. For our staff, we understand this is really tough time, and that would go for any agency. And because New York society is basically the genius on child welfare, they get it, and they get trauma, and they're our go-to people.
New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children is the first child protection agency in the world. And as the first child protection agency in the world, we feel a very deep commitment to supporting all the workers throughout the United States who are doing this valiant work day in and day out, and to try to offer them the support that they need to continue to protect the nation's children.